Welcome to Testimony Mountain. So glad that you are here. And I just want to share a few things, some background that you may not know about us as a community or as me personally. Um, just share some things from my heart about our vision, mission, that type of thing. I'm not one that likes to have this, we're going to do this, 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 and we've got to have this, mission, vision statement and all that. And yet at the same time, it's important that you know who we are and why we're here and, why we're doing what we're doing and the heart behind it. And so I hope you can hear that in what I'm sharing today. I come from a family that was always involved in church. Whenever the church doors were open, we were there. It was like you had to be on your deathbed to not be in church. And even very early starting to serve and minister. So at 12, I was, playing the piano for one of the children's divisions, and we ended up actually taking it over and leading another 12-year-old friend and I. And so that was always part of church life. My grandparents were also leaders in church as well as my parents, and so that was just kind of what we did. Um, at the same time, I've tend to be more shy and um, be a little bit more in the back row. And I'm happy for other people to lead and to support and come alongside and all of those kinds of things. And my kids were little. Well, no, actually, they were getting to be closer to teens. And I was part of a ministry of worship and prayer, and was really happy to be on the back row and just, worship and pray. And one day I heard the Lord say, "I'm calling you to the front row." And I was like, "No, no, I don't want to. I don't want to." And he said, "I'm calling you forward, and I want you to participate, in as a general in the army." And of course that terminology, I'm not into the big spiritual warfare and all those kinds of things. I'd rather make friends than, do battle and those types of things. And so there were so many things that didn't make a lot of sense. Going back a little ways, when my kids were little, I needed to make some income, and at that time there was Nest Entertainment Videos. If you're familiar with that, there were animated Bible videos and heroes, of the historical figures, and kind of emphasizing character qualities. And so I began to sell those, and I did pretty good, for a couple of years, and I won some awards. And because this was, the animated videos, one of the prizes for getting to a certain level was these animated cells from the actual, movies that we were selling. And so I was so excited to be getting that. And, my friends were going up and getting things. And what they brought back were these bright, beautiful, colorful cells. And that first year, I got mine and I was so disappointed. It was a darkish picture and it was Moses at the burning bush. And I was just kind of like, couldn't I have gotten one with Jesus or something cool, and so I was just really bummed out. The next year, I, won awards again. And so I was all excited. Maybe this time I'm going to get this bright, beautiful, picture. And when I got it, um, I was excited about the character who was being portrayed, but again, it was a dark picture and it was Harriet Tubman. And I was kind of like, oh, all these other bright, beautiful pictures, colorful. And I get these two dark pictures. And then it began to dawn on me, um, Moses from the Bible, and then Harriet Tubman was called the Moses of her people. And that understanding of, you know, um, leading people to freedom. And so those were all tucked back, kind of in my thoughts as I was raising my family and involved in ministry where I could and all of that. But it has taken on a whole new meaning in the last couple of years as we have been doing Transformations Community, of understanding, what God was speaking way back then about what we're doing today. And for me, I believe that call is to raise up an army of overcomers, to see the triumph of God's love, to see every bit of our trauma transformed into his glory and experiencing his love and his power that overcomes the deepest, darkest things of the enemy. And that is really my heart with Transformations Community. It's not just, getting people to be livable or normal or fix people at all. It's this process of reminding us who we really are, why we're here, and that we have an incredible destiny. And I believe that survivors are God's secret weapon, and that in the darkest places where we have been and are overcoming, that we get to bring the power and the light and love of God in a way that nobody else can. We understand the systems of the world because we've experienced it. And we are working through our stuff. This isn't about spiritually bypassing and just, pretending everything's wonderful and putting on a happy face. Not at all. We do have to go through the process of dealing with the pain and the anger, the rage, all of the different emotions, shame, and working through those with what I call the true family, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, in relationship with them and in community, and seeing true transformations and triumph. And so that is really the depth of my heart for this community. And if you're watching, you're welcome to be part of this. If you're not, connected in a deep way, you can be. At any time, we have on Saturdays, we have community connection, which is just doing life together with worship, processing scripture together, and doing life together. Nothing fancy, just us coming together. And then the Transformations course is for trauma survivors and any kind of trauma. We have, people who maybe, I hate to say it, more your normal traumas and neglect to severe SRA, complex trauma types of things. And as a community, we're learning and growing together and becoming who God created us to be and walking in our destiny. And so we start new transformation groups about every 6 months. So feel free to contact us to see when a new group is forming. And again, the focus is not, we got to fix you, but it's coming into the fullness of who we are created to be. We missed a lot of steps because of the trauma or neglect. And so there's relational skills that we get to learn and we get to practice in community. And I love this as we are learning and growing together. We had something come up even today between two people in our community, and both of them being triggered and being able to work it out in a beautiful way, being able to take a pause, and dealing with some of the symptoms of that overwhelm, and then being able to come back and work it through relationally is so beautiful and so powerful. So often survivors are isolated, and there's so much broken trust that it's really difficult to even think about connecting relationally. Our natural tendency is to, I've got to do it on my own. I've got to figure it out. I've got to make it happen. And that is just part of the walls, that self-defense that we have built. And the gentle invitation from the Lord to go, hey, you don't have to carry that heavy burden. You don't have to figure it out. In the last, 2 years, I have come through some incredible challenges that should have taken me out. And through it, the Lord has been with me, not because I'm special, not because I'm amazing or I have some gifts or any of that, but just because they care and they love. And all along, it was just, you don't have to figure it out. Just put your hand in our hand and take the next step. And when I look back, it's with awe and wonder and gratitude that I'm still alive. I'm still here and I'm still in ministry because I had two major crises that I thought may take me out. And yet the Lord had other plans and he continues to take us step by step. And so we have, this online community. We also have some local, not big or huge where we currently are. And we're looking at, in the future, a move. I'm not going to give details today, but it is super exciting what the Lord is doing. And I hope that you will join us in your prayers, in support of being part of this community if you would like to be. And if the Lord leads you to financially contribute into what I hope is good soil. I believe that there is coming this mass exodus from the cult system. I believe that's what we're preparing for. And it's exciting to me. I believe the system is coming down. That in Revelation, it talks about Babylon will fall down and it will cause great disruption in our society. And the true family have a way through. And I am so excited for those survivors to be able to come out and to be able to get free and to be part of that triumphant army of overcomers. And I believe you may be one of those as well. And I just want you to know whatever state you're in, um, no matter how you feel today, you may be feeling like you're in hopeless despair and that you're done and that life doesn't have meaning. And I just want to say there is a future for you. And the Lord has a way through, even if it seems like it's impossible. And all they're asking is, would you put your hand in ours and take the next step? Now, sometimes we don't even trust God, and we struggle with that, and we need people to be bridges and mirrors to help us make that connection with God. And so if you're even just struggling, with connecting with the Lord, and you just need someone with skin on, I want you to know that we are here for you. And so feel free to reach out. You can go to our website, use the contact page, or in the notes below is my email address. Feel free to reach out because you're not alone. And the Lord has so much more for you, for all of us. And so we get to overcome. We get to triumph over the enemy and what he's done. We get to see the worst of that pain and trauma transformed into glory. And so I just want to encourage you today with these words and to know that you are not alone and that we are here. So feel free to reach out, encourage you to like, subscribe, to share this with others who may need this message. And I just want to bless you today to know that there is a way through. So we'll see you next time on Testimony Mountain.